What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. My name is Kreepers. I'm here today to talk about what has been happening with Iris recently. And one of these changes, one of these updates, or whatever information you want to call it, I know what's going to happen to Moji, and definitely it's not becoming a support. And you're probably thinking, what do you even mean? Some people may not even know this, but Moji was supposed to be a support. Back in December, I think they announced that they were going to completely rework her and put her on the class of the supports, make her a healer instead of a flanker. Why? Because so many people said, wow, Moji is at the point that it's just bullshit. Have you ever had that feeling that she was actually fine before she got nerfed? And maybe we could just, reverse it? One of the things I've always noticed is that Iris never likes to reverse the things. They think, oh no, this is actually good. We can just change something else and maybe it'll make it better. Maybe, just freaking maybe, there could be a different way. I don't know, maybe just make her actually heal at all times after she uses Scamper without actually needing a talent. I mean, we already have other champions that actually heal without actually being supports, right? So, why do I say that she's no longer going to become a support? Because this idea was in the charts, in the lead, and their ideas of what to do in the future, right? So why aren't they doing it anymore? You guys know about the AOC, the champions elected by the people, our lords and saviors. I'm joking about that one, of course. But we had J-Flare and Yuga, among others, and these two brought to us some information, which I believe that others probably have done, but I just don't know who the others are. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest right now. But J-Flare came to tell us that he talked to Garrett, and apparently they scratched the idea completely of Moji becoming a support. Why? Let me explain. Apparently, doing that takes a lot of time, resources, valuable resources and time that they can actually use for something else, which is more important than actually making Moji a support. What is this importance things that I'm talking about? Well, basically balancing, polishing, and bug fixing. So, recently, the 2.03 showcase, basically it was sort of like a fiasco almost, if you want to bring it to me, like going that way, you know what I mean? They didn't told us necessarily they were going to divide the stream in 2 days, and on one day was only balancing, polishing, and bug fixing, and so on, and the other day would be the content. The reason here that I see that it's bad all over this entire subject is that they did not announce it completely. They could have just come up in one day before and say, hey, you know what? We're going to do this differently. We're going to do it on one day. We're going to have all the balance bug fixes and all this shit you really want because you've been complaining with us for so long, and we're going to give it to you, and we'll leave Atlas and the rest for the next day. So we can focus more on each one of the things and we don't have to rush it. That would be a good idea for them to actually do, but which this is something they fail a lot. Iris, unfortunately, fails a lot in communication, and this is probably one of the things that actually makes so many people angry at them, and not even the bug fixes at this point. We got into a point where them fixing the bugs, hunt and so on, all of that, they doing that, people are still mad. Why? Because of communication, Iris. Wake up. It has been something that we've been complaining for so long. We've been asking for you to be as transparent as possible, to let us know things in advance. Like, for example, today, I went into Paladins, I was playing competitive, and all of a sudden, Grover tells me, hey, the buffs are already active. The nerfs, actually. And I was like, what nerfs are you talking about? The nerfs on Grover. And I'm like, no, they're not. What do you mean? And he was like, look at my talent. I open up the scoreboard and I look at the talent. Now heals over 150 extra per second during 3 seconds. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did they do? Why did they change this on a hotfix and didn't tell us anything? I went to check out the hotfix notes. There's nothing there. There's nothing saying, hey, you know what? We decided to do this in advance. Maybe it's actually not even working. Maybe it's only visual, because there was another person saying the exact same thing, but he was saying, hey, the nerfs are not live. This is just visual. I mean, it could be, it could not be. I didn't actually test it, so you guys can test that out for me and let me know down in the comments below. But beyond that, let's continue. So Moji no longer is going to become a support. They said that they're they'd rather waste their times on something that is much more valuable, but it's still getting a buff, alright? So on both heads, speed and damage, and on the bonus damage with the marks, so only rewarding with 7, 8, or... No, wait, 8, 9, or 10 marks, dealing up to 1,000 damage now, so she's gonna be insanely deadly if you know how to play her. But beyond that, they also came up on Reddit and actually said a couple things, like some bug fixes that they wanted to do, and that was actually the reason why they also postponed the PDS for 2 weeks, because for those who don't know, PDS did not open immediately on the Saturday or Friday after the showcase, which usually it is the case. Which, to me, I'm just going to be honest here before I continue. This is good. This is good. I mean, without talking about the, transparency and also the communication, which is lacking fucking a lot. But beyond that, they're showing that they're actually focusing on doing things. The reason why they decided to postpone the PDS being live, it is the reason that we've been complaining for so long. PDS comes up always fucking buggy. Everything is buggy. We can't buy anything. Voice lines are not working. Anything like that. And then we can't even test it properly. The first few days of PDS are the most critical ones. First 2-3 days are the ones where everybody's in it and wants to test all the things. From new champions, new skins, new battle passes, and so on. And we always lack to test this on its full percentage, on 100% of its own scale, because we can never do it since everything is bugged. It hasn't been the first time that I gotten into a PDS and the battle pass itself, it's all fucked up. I couldn't buy anything. Or if you were to buy the entire battle pass straight away until the maximum level, you wouldn't get the rewards. And now they actually said, okay, we're gonna take this time, we're gonna give it 2 weeks, we're gonna test it out ourselves, and making sure that when it goes live, it actually goes good. So they're actually listening to us for once. And this is not just it. Back on Reddit, this is what I was mentioning before, back on Reddit, they put out a list of things they fixed, like bugs for the ultimate of Khan, bugs for, like, collision with the camera when you're being grabbed by Khan, multiple bugs. Apparently, some of them are really, really critical, and they said they're fixing it, and that's the reason also they decided to postpone the PDS. So that is actually pretty cool. Right now, as I'm speaking, as I'm recording this video, in 1 week, sort of, that's when PDS should be open, but I will be streaming it, alright? I will be on the first fucking day. I'll be there if you guys want to check it out as well. If you don't have the time to, install the game as fast as possible, I will be as soon as it's up, so you guys can actually check it out with me. Either that or I'll be sleeping, because they usually tend to open the fucking PDS when I'm sleeping. Thank you very much. But even so, let's continue. So, we got that done. Now there's only one final thing I need to talk to you guys. I've kind of made a mess back on when I did my 2 other videos. One of them was related to basically the streaming situation, the Paladin situation itself, and everything around it. And many people called me a white knight. I'll explain that in just a few seconds. Then I did a second video where it was about the AOC. And again, people called me a white knight. You can call me whatever you want. I honestly don't care at this point. I'm just... it is weird to actually see how people misunderstand most of the things I say. I may have not explained myself in the best way possible as well. I'll take the blame on that one, and I apologize in advance. Maybe those videos did not, transmit exactly what I wanted to transmit, alright? So people thought that I was straight up attacking everybody who was complaining about the game, and I was just straight up defending Harris. Get this in your head. I'm never going to defend a company. Like, for example, I won't defend YouTube. I won't defend Harris. I won't defend Sony. I may say some good things about them, but I'm never going to say I'll defend them with my life. And no such fucking situation, because corporations and companies will always be the same shit for me. They will always be seen as something bad who only cares about money. And this has been something that many people have been complaining about Harris for a while, and maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. It's not up to me to decide. I can't tell for sure what the fuck is going on in there, and I don't know what they're doing. Okay, I know that they're somehow fixing shit up now. They're focusing more on polishing. They said they're going to delay content. They said that they're going to, just focus more on polishing and bug fixing and balancing. They said that they're going to be trying to do that as much as possible. And I'm starting to see results, and I'm happy about it, okay? What I was trying to say with those 2 videos, which is something that I believe that not a lot of people understood, was do complain with them, but be reasonable. Don't be an asshole towards them. Don't call them names. Don't tell shit you don't even know you're talking about. Don't complain about things that don't even make sense. Like, hey, stop making skins, start making bug fixes. That is understandable on one point, but then you also have to see the other point, their point. They have different teams for different things, so you can't ask them to make a team completely stop in order to do another thing that they don't even know how to do. Alright? Beyond that, I'm just going to leave it at that, alright? Hopefully people will somehow forgive me or not. It's up to you. I don't care. I'm not going to die about it, okay? All I have to say is, I don't want you guys to feel offended by me. I apologize if I offended anybody whatsoever. What I was trying to say is just complain, but be a good person when doing so. Be professional, or I'm lacking the words myself, but just complain with style. You know what I mean? Just don't be that asshole like, oh, you're just about the shit, you just do this and that. Don't do that, all right? Don't just state your problem normally, okay? And with, of course, respect. That's what I've been saying for a very long time. Beyond that, there's only one final news that I have to give it to you. This, I actually put it a ping back on my Discord, and now I want to actually let you know. Apparently, there is a game that Hi-Rez is developing in the shadows. They're not saying it to anybody. It hasn't been completely stated what the game is. The only things that we know is that the name of the game, apparently, it is Prophecy. There's already some legal work around the name to maybe lock the name of the game for them, and that it's done on Unreal Engine 4. By the way, I also want to make a comment on that part. Some of you may remember me talking about Unreal Engine 4 would come in January. I never said it will for a fact. If you guys go back into my first video, which I have actually 2 videos on talking about the Unreal Engine 4, the first one was just it may happen because of this trailer, because of the idea that people told me, and the second one was me saying, we may get Unreal Engine 4, hopefully. This is exactly the words I used. I never said, we're gonna get it for sure. Try not to, twist my words, because when I'm talking, sometimes I may not use the best words because I'm not English. I'm Portuguese and may use the wrong words on a wrong sentence, but I know what I'm trying to say, and if I try to talk too much about it, I'll just make a mess. So let's leave it at that. I never said that they're going to make Unreal Engine 4 possible for Paladins. Probably will be impossible, probably will be a hard thing. I'm not seeing them doing that. Apparently you have to have a degree to work on a specific engine, so I don't even know at this point. But Moji will no longer be a support. PDS will be up in 1 week. We're seeing some good bug fixes around all the time that they're not having PDS up, and we're also seeing some sort of a communication coming up a little bit now, which hopefully, and if Hi-Rez is seeing this shit, I'm just asking you, please start talking to your audience, to your players, to your viewers, to everything. Communicate. It is the only thing I'm begging at this point. I don't even care about the fucking bug fixes, alright? It's a game. I'm not gonna die if I'm not fucking Grandmaster. I wanna have fun, but if there's a problem with the game, at least let us know. How are you fixing it? What are you doing? And what the problem is. Let us know. We're here. This is almost like a team, okay? So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed having all of this information now. I'll be coming up with some new information as well that I've been seeing gathering around, but that is for Realm Royale, alright? That is a video specifically for Realm Royale, which I'm leaving that for Realm Royale, and now I'm going to cut off the video here, and just one final thing, I will be streaming PDS, so if you are new to this channel and you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe. Maybe turn on notifications, up to you, and leave a comment down below about the Grover situation, if you've noticed that the buff or nerf is actually right there working on the live servers or not. And for those who don't know, there was a hotfix today. Thank you so much for watching. That will be it for today. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time.